Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 815 Sports Podcast. We're going to jump in here to week 9 in the NFL season. I don't know if Cole wants to touch on the World Series, but it was kind of a boring World Series.
Dominated by Texas.
They won in 5.
You picked them in 6, and I picked the Diamondbacks just to be different from you, but I expected them to win.
But Texas was 11-0 on the road. You're going to win when you win.
That's probably an all-time record, ain't it? It's got to be an all-time record.
If it's not, it's tied or it's up there. But, yeah, Texas won in 5. Arizona didn't win one home game. That's tough. They really didn't even play well at all in the World Series besides winning. I think they won game 1. Or did
Texas won game 1.
And then Arizona won game
2.
2. So besides from game 2, I mean, those 3 games in Arizona were just worthless. I mean, they were blowouts. Those poor fans didn't even get this, there was nothing for them.
Probably paid a week's worth of fucking income to go to the game.
Yeah, because they weren't cheap, and that's a pretty big stadium, too. I think it holds like 50,000 plus, which is one of the biggest stadiums in the league.
I saw Yanello was at 2 of the games.
Yeah, I know.
He was at last night's game.
Sharon Barkello went to 1. So, with that being said, the baseball season's over. I think this is going to be a decent offseason for the Cubs. I'm hearing Juan Soto a lot. Obviously fans want Cody Bellinger back. Shohei Ohtani. Of course, all the Cubs are going to be in all the big names because they're a big market team. We'll see if they actually do it. I wouldn't mind Juan Soto. He's 25. Everyone's like, well, you'd probably have to get rid of Morel.
So?
Juan Soto hit 31 home runs and batted .280. And he had 105 RBIs. I mean, that's way better than Morel. So if you have to part ways with them, it's unfortunate. But I think you do that because Juan Soto, I think they're probably the same age. I don't know how old Morel is, but I know he's probably
around the same age.
He's probably in his obviously mid to early 20s, but
and Soto's already accomplished a lot.
Soto's accomplished. You could sign him for 10 years.
Yeah.
I think he's worth the contract.
Yeah.
I don't really know if he's injury prone, but anyways, we won't get. I was just mentioning some Cubs offseason news that you could pay attention to. You might hear those names. So we can jump in here. Today, I don't think the game is kicked off yet. It's about to. It's Tennessee at Pittsburgh. Oh, there's the spread. It's 2.5.
Yep.
I'm going to take Pittsburgh. I think they're at home. It's cold.
Tomlin's very good against rookie quarterbacks.
And Pittsburgh plays well at home in the cold.
Now, I think Kenny Pickett's supposed to play tonight, but I had heard some people tell me at work that Trubisky was playing. So that's why I picked Tennessee originally, but also I liked what I saw from Will Levis last week. Hopkins showed that he's still a really good player. He had 3 touchdowns. I benched him in fantasy this past week, which cost me my fantasy game, kind of ruined my Sunday, along with the Packers just being terrible. With that being said, though, I'm going to ride with Will Levis. I know if any of you guys had talked to me and Lucas before, we thought that Will Levis was going to be pretty good. And he looked pretty good. Obviously, tonight, you got a tough matchup with a good defense, but I'm going to take Tennessee.
Yeah, I just think this is prime Pittsburgh football.
Yeah.
They need this game. This is a game for them. They got to have. Yeah. They got to show that they're better than Tennessee because I'm not really that high on Tennessee anymore. I know I kind of was to start the season, but things have happened. I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers and those terrible, stupid yellow towels.
Okay.
There'll be 1,000 million of them tonight.
Go ahead with your Miami pick, Jake. I'm going to flip that off so we don't get our video taken off.
Well, this could be the game of the week, right? It's the big remote. This could be the game of the week. And I think there's many reasons why it could be game of the week.
Should be Sunday Night Football, but here we are playing in Germany.
Should be in the States. Can you imagine Arrowhead with one of the best teams coming in? I think this is advantage Miami not having to play at Arrowhead.
Yep.
I don't know if the Dome in Germany is going to be closed or shut yet. I'm hearing it's going to be open. It's going to be mid-50s, chance of rain. But Tyreek and Tua are front runners right now for MVP, I think. If not, they're top 4 or 5. They're they're in that rank.
Mhm.
Patrick Mahomes, I'm sure, is right outside the top 5, if not in the top 5. So there are many reasons to be excited about this game. Travis Kelce, Jalen Waddle. I mean, I think Jalen Ramsey's back. Xavier Howard's back for the Dolphins. So their secondary, gets better right there. I think Javon Holland's going to be back at safety. I think Raheem Mostert, I don't even know how to say his name, is going to play. I think the only big name that might not play is obviously A-Chain, but he traveled with the team. So that's
he probably
good.
won't play this week.
No, but that's good. He's traveling with the team because normally if you're not traveling, you're not close.
Yeah.
So I would say, after this week, we got the bye. So I would say this is week 9.
Next week,
week 10. Week 11, when we play the Raiders in Miami, I would expect, if nobody gets hurt Sunday, for the Dolphins to have a healthy lineup.
Yeah.
With that being said, and it's negative. It's 1. Chiefs are favored by
Basically
1.
pick 'em.
So, yeah. I just think with the Dolphins going over there Monday, I think they left Monday, and I don't think Kansas City left till like Wednesday or Thursday, because I heard Dolphin fans went over there and they're still jet lagged after 2 or 3 days. So I just think advantage Miami that they left earlier. Kansas City didn't leave as early. I don't know. This is going to be a tough game regardless. I just think this is a game the Dolphins get because they need to prove it to a decent team. I know Kansas City lost last week pretty bad. They looked terrible.
You want to know a fun fact about Kansas City? 0-2 this year in games where Taylor Swift is not at the game.
Is she there?
I don't think she's going to be in Germany. So,
well, that's interesting. And speaking of Kansas City, how about that upset pick?
Yeah, you nailed it. Nailed it.
I called it. Cole probably looked at me like an idiot.
It was the only game I lost in my parlay last week.
So it just felt like that was the Denver coming out party. And now you got to look at it.
You must have knew that he was going to be sick.
Well, what I'm saying is now you got to look at it. And when you see Denver, they got a bye week.
They're on a bye week.
Imagine that. But, I mean, they can beat anybody now.
Well, I mean, as far as the NFL goes, I think any team can beat any
that's
team.
True. I mean, I don't necessarily know about Carolina. There's a couple teams. I guess any given Sunday, sure. Turnovers, crazy stuff.
Injuries.
But I got the Dolphins.
Yeah, Jake nailed a lot of things there. I don't really have too much to add. I'm also taking Miami. Would not surprise me at all if Kansas City won this game, but I love Tyreek Hill. I love what they're doing in Miami. I love their head coach. They got talent all over the field.
Everywhere.
And
might be one of the talented rosters in the NFL.
Probably. And Tyreek Hill said that he can't wait to go against his former team. So I don't know what the over is in the receiving yards, but I'd hammer it. I think Miami's going to win this one. I think they might prove a point. But if it was a normal noon game, I'd say they're proving a point. But since they're over in Germany and it's an early game or whatever, maybe it's late there. I don't know. But we'll see what ends up happening. But I'm going to take Miami.
And this is big for playoff implications.
Yeah.
I mean, we're halfway through the season almost, right?
Yeah.
Week 9, basically.
Yeah.
You have the same record as this team. They would be the 1 seed, and the AFC would run through Miami, and they do not lose at home. I'm just telling you. I don't know.
Kansas City, really.
I don't know what it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what it is about Miami, the Heat, whatever. We all know that. We get into that later. That would be huge. This game is huge. This is probably the biggest game of the season.
Yeah.
Because this is who you are.
I'll probably be up watching it hungover.
Are you off Sunday?
Yeah, finally a freaking weekend off. Minnesota at Atlanta. Jake, go ahead.
I've got the Falcons. Just when Minnesota was getting hot, right?
4 in a row.
Just when you thought they were going to turn the corner and they were going to compete with Detroit and they looked awesome. Football injury.
And he didn't even get hit on it. He didn't even get hit on it. A non-contact injury tore his Achilles. No.
Because
I actually like Kirk Cousins.
I think he's a really good quarterback. I think Minnesota's a really good team.
Yeah. Their defense playing nuts. Well, I don't know how they're going to perform now.
But I'm taking Atlanta. I just think the Vikings don't have enough without Kirk Cousins.
Mm-hmm. So, I agree with you. Atlanta at home. I mean, that'd be a safe pick, but I'm going to take Minnesota. I really like their defense. I still think they're there's some things that they could figure out offensively, but
Who's their
with the
starter
way
now?
that their defense has been playing, I don't remember the guy's name.
See, that's a problem.
But I feel like Minnesota's defense is good enough to keep them in this game, and Atlanta to me isn't a team that's going to blow you out. So you're probably going to be in the game,
yeah,
and anything can happen. But I'm going to take Minnesota.
I got Atlanta.
Arizona at Cleveland. I'm going to take the Browns. They're at home. Watson may or may not be back this week, but PJ Walker hasn't been too bad, and they got a pretty good defense, and Arizona's not great. I don't know if I'd take -8, but I definitely would take Cleveland to win. Like I said, Garrett's playing out of his mind, might be Defensive Player of the Year. He's always in that conversation. Kareem Hunt's really good. They got a couple other guys on the outside as far as Amari Cooper and Njoku at tight end. I just like Cleveland a lot. I think they're a much better team than Arizona.
I think Cleveland wins pretty easy. I don't even think this game is really close. Obviously, early on it might be, but I think by halftime the teams will separate. And yeah, Cleveland's dangerous when they want to be. So, and we're doing an upset pick. So,
all right,
start thinking about who you're taking.
Okay. Up next, Rams at Green Bay. Jair Alexander said today the Packers were going to win 10 games in a row and win the rest of the year. I love the confidence, but absolutely nothing has shown me that. We just traded Rasul Douglas for a third-round pick. Not really. I kind of get trading him as far as salary cap goes for the next couple of years. But as far as getting a third-round pick, I know you're not probably going to get much better than that. But he was a really good player. He was a heart of the defense. He was a leader. And you trade him to the Bills. The Bills got a good player, but I don't know. In the NFL, I don't really see the point in making trades. The Packers never seem to make one when they're in contention, so why make one now? But I'm going to take the Rams.
The Rams?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
I'm taking the Rams.
They suck too.
Well, both teams suck. Okay, if you watch a Green Bay Packer game,
pretty much watch a lot of their games,
and you're going to tell me the team they suck.
Their offense.
And I'll tell you what, Love. Has he looked great? No, but I'll tell you what, the wide receivers suck too. I mean, there were some balls that the guys were wide fucking open. He was hitting them in the hands, and they were dropping. It was terrible. So it's not all on him.
Yeah, but they had this problem with Rodgers too. Remember a couple of years ago, or what year was it? Where receivers were dropping passes,
like last year, probably
early
without
on.
Adams.
You know what?
I'm taking the Rams.
I feel a different. I'm going a different way here. I'm taking Green Bay. I think they started to come back last week versus Minnesota, right? Or what game?
They did. They've kind of came back in almost every game. If they got some momentum,
so
at some
they
point.
need to get off to a good start. This is the goddamn team to do it to.
They never get off to a good start so far.
They do this week because. Well, it's not an upset, so I'm riding with Vegas. I mean, Vegas has got the Packers. Why not?
All right, Jake.
All right.
That's who you're gonna roll with.
I'm taking the Packers. I'm gonna catch you this week.
You might. I'm up 5 games. Washington at New England.
This is interesting.
I don't really see why New England's favored in this game. I mean, they're playing at home, but I'm gonna take Washington. Sam Howell went nuts last week. I don't know if any of you guys paid attention to that game. Probably not. But 3-5, New England 2-6. So I like Washington's offensive coordinator. Bieniemy used to play for the Chiefs, or used to coach for the Chiefs. So I'm going to take Washington.
I'm taking the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
And
in a close one.
A close game, very, very, very close game. New England, good defense. They played the Dolphins pretty well. To be honest with you, had me nervous for a little bit. And I like New England's defense. I think if Mac Jones doesn't make too many mistakes, and I like him at home.
Mm-hmm.
Patriots.
The Bears at the New Orleans Saints.
8.5.
8.5 is the line. Hasn't moved. Derek Carr Justin Fields, is he gonna? I don't know if he's gonna play this week. Says he's questionable when I looked at ESPN. New Orleans has a better team. Kamara's been playing great like he used to back in the day. Derek Carr he's
good.
He's not bad. He's not bad.
He's good.
The Saints have a lot of talented players on their roster. They're going to definitely be in the game. they're not going to get blown out. So, and they're favored by 8.5. So I'm going to take the Saints.
Yeah, I'm taking the Saints too. I agree. I just don't think the Bears.
I don't know if this is close, to be honest.
I just don't know about the Bears. They just made a trade. They got Buck.
Didn't they get Montez Sweat?
Yeah,
they got Montez Sweat.
Some guy who rushes the passer who's already got as many sacks as himself as the whole Bears do as a team. I heard on 670 Score.
Yeah, they got Montez Sweat because the Niners got Chase Young.
I got the Saints. I just don't see how this game's close unless Derek Carr makes too many mistakes and throws a pick six or something. I don't know how this game's close.
Lately, he's been dumping it to Kamara. It's just been all over the place.
Can we talk about why do the Bears have so many primetime games? I mean, I think that was their third one.
Well, they were also playing the Chargers, so I mean, maybe the NFL thought the Chargers, but
before
the NFL
the season,
thought the Chargers were going to be.
And I get it, big market.
Yeah,
a lot of people probably going to watch.
Yeah,
for a little bit and then tune out, but yeah, Saints.
Seattle at Baltimore.
It's going to be a very good game.
Yep.
Look at the spread.
Yeah, -6. Since it's at Baltimore, I'm going to take the Ravens. I like what I'm seeing out of their offense right now. They're moving the ball pretty well. They got a competent defense. Obviously, Seattle, pretty much the same thing. They're solid on offense. They're solid on defense. They've got numerous really good players, but they're at home, the Ravens, so I'm going to take the Ravens.
Yeah, look, Lamar's back. I think he keeps doing the stuff he does. He might be up there for MVP. Baltimore's back. Baltimore's really, really good. They're at home. Seattle, to me, just kind of seems like a very good team. I don't know that they're
5-2.
I don't know that they're as explosive as Baltimore. So if they get in a shootout, they could be in trouble. If this game's close, Seattle could win. Pete Carroll's a really good coach. I've always said that. I'm a big Pete Carroll fan. I think, he might, some people say he's cocky. He's a good coach. I like Baltimore though.
Okay. So we both agree on that one.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay at Houston. Houston's favored by 3. They just lost to the Panthers. The Bucks have lost.
Bucks are reeling. Let's be honest. They started out 3-0, and now what are they?
I think they're 3-4 now.
Boy, that's tough.
Yep, they're 3-4 now, but they're going to bounce back this week. I'm taking the Bucks. They're going to be 4-4 after this game, and they're going to be right in the thick of it in the NFC South because everybody in that division is kind of around 500.
This is hard. There's not that many good games this week, to be honest. Have you seen one besides Miami and Kansas City?
Seattle and Baltimore.
Okay, well, so one we just did, but
I think Dallas,
it gets better. Dallas, Philly,
Buffalo, Cincinnati.
Okay, it gets better.
Some good games.
Okay, but the noon
slate.
Noon brutal.
8:30 good.
Okay, but noon games brutal. There's like 7 noon games, and they're all brutal.
No, there's one good one, like we said, Seattle, Baltimore.
Oh.
I'm taking Bucks, Houston. I'm taking the Bucks.
You know what? I'm gonna agree. I think Tampa Bay has enough firepower. I think they are an explosive offense.
They got to get the ball to Mike Evans.
Baker's got to get the ball out, get rid of it,
not
make mistakes. And I like Tampa to get back in it and get a win.
Yeah, I agree with that pick, Jake. I still think the Bucks are a team that can make the playoffs. They can sneak in.
Well, they're in the AFC. They're in the NFC. South.
Colts at Carolina. I know Carolina won. You know what? I don't know if this is really an upset, Jake. 1-6, 3-5.
Who did they beat?
They beat Houston last week. They're at home. No, I can't do it. I'm gonna take Indianapolis, even though they're on the road. Gardner Minshew's seen the NFL. Bryce Young is still trying to figure it out. They got Michael Pittman Jr., Jonathan Taylor, a few other guys that I really like. I'm gonna roll with Indianapolis.
I'm just telling you, this is my upset. I'm taking Carolina.
Okay.
Have you done one yet?
Nope.
I mean, I guess we both took Wasn't Houston favored?
Oh, if we're just doing favors, then yeah.
No, I know, but
you
you could technically say that's an upset, but I don't think it is. I think they're the more talented team. I think home field gives you a point or two.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm taking Carolina. I watched them play a good 2 quarters in Miami, and this is a team that you're not going to – I mean, what other team could you get at home that you have a chance versus if it's not Indianapolis?
For them?
Yeah.
Well, Houston, like they just play Vegas. Vegas sucks.
But I mean, Indianapolis is one of those teams that they should be able to compete with because Indianapolis is not great.
Yeah.
They're okay. So Carolina's bad. So they should be able to play with them. And I think they, and
losing games doesn't help Carolina at all because the Bears have their pick.
Right.
So yeah, we both got you got Carolina, I'm sorry, and I got the Colts.
Okay, this next goddamn game, terrible. I mean, I am so sick of the New York worthless fucking Giants and that Brian Kool-Aid Man DeBall sucks as a head coach. I'm sorry. He's awful.
2-6 this year.
They lost another game to the New York feeble Jets.
They should have won.
What was he doing in overtime?
I don't know. I didn't watch the game.
Oh, my God. Oh, and then how the Giants blew it by Wilson throwing those bombs. Oh, to send it to overtime. My good God, the Giants should be 4-4. They should be 4-4. They should have beat the Buffalo Bills, and they should have beat the New York Jets. Yeah. I just can't. Well, I feel what's going on in Vegas, though?
Well, they just fired their head coach, their GM.
I mean, they're in a goddamn.
Garoppolo benched. Aiden O'Connell starting.
I'm taking the Giants. Yeah, I'm going to fall into that goddamn trap again and take the Giants.
All right. Well, if you're this is do you want to take this as an upset pick?
Yeah, if that's what you want. I mean,
I'm going to take Vegas. I don't really know that it's a big upset.
Well, it can't be. They're favored.
Okay, fine. Yeah, but they just lost their head coach and their GM, and they're starting a new quarterback.
All right, if you want to consider that an upset, that's fine.
Okay.
I don't, but.
All right. Well, then, yeah. Either way, I'm rolling with Vegas.
Either way. I when you said O'Connell, yeah, no thanks.
I'm rolling with Vegas. Devontae Adams has had probably 4, maybe 5 straight weeks. I think it's 4 straight weeks in a row. Not very many targets or receptions. I just traded him away in fantasy, so expect him to have a huge game on Sunday.
He's going to get that Sunday with the new quarterback.
He's going to have a huge game Sunday.
Maybe he does.
But no, just bookmark it. It might happen. I think.
Okay, but I'm going to tell you, the Giants aren't a bad football. Their record is. They're a decent team, okay?
They just traded away their best defensive lineman. Not that
I still think they're a decent team. They've been in every game. They just can't find a way to win, and that all falls on that fucking I cannot stand the ball because he lost to the Jets and the Bills, and that hurts the Dolphins.
Okay.
And he's Tua's offensive coordinator.
Dallas at Philly. Jake, go ahead.
This could be another game of the week. Can't go wrong. Buffalo at Cincinnati, Sunday Night Football. So Dallas at Philadelphia is.
It's probably Fox's game of the week.
Yeah. All right. This game is tricky because I either think it's going to be really close or Philly's going to blow them out. I don't think it's going to be the other way around and Dallas blows them out. I don't want the Dallas Cowboys to win because then you'll hear Skip Bayless all over Twitter, make my ears freaking bleed. I'm taking the Eagles. Now, the Eagles, listen, they're not playing great, right? Didn't they just give up 31 points?
37 points? 31 points.
To the Redskins?
Yeah. The Redskins have almost beat them twice.
Here they choked twice, though, but I'm taking the Eagles. They're good. They can score at any time, any part of the game, any part of the field. They're at home.
All right. Yeah. Every single part of me wants to take Philadelphia, but since I have to pick an upset of the week, I'm going to take Dallas. Now, is this an okay upset pick?
Well, yeah, Dallas is not favored.
So I'm taking Dallas. I think Philly has pretty much everything in their favor.
Yeah.
They're healthy going into the game.
I can't believe it's only 3.
A.J. Brown's been balling. They're going to be playing in Philly with those fans who are just obnoxious.
Ruthless.
But
probably still crying from the NLCS.
Dallas is going to have a very tough time in this game. And honestly, Dak Prescott has not shown up in big-time games, as most of us know. So I really don't have a lot of good things to say about Dallas pulling this game out.
I mean, Dallas is good enough to pull it out. They've got the firepower. They're a great team. I just don't know if they can play complete
60 minutes.
Yes. I don't think they do.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. Dallas really hasn't been running the ball too well.
So you're taking Dallas or what?
I'm taking Dallas because I got to pick an upset of the week, but I like Philly.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I don't have a lot of great things to say A lot of things are leaning in Philly's favor, but I'm going to take Dallas. Sunday Night Football.
Another great game.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a great game. Buffalo and Cincinnati. Jake, I'll let you make your pick first.
So the Buffalo girl, or the Buffalo, what I used to call them a nickname, the Buffalo, whatever, I can't remember. But the Bills have been reeling too, let's be honest. They haven't looked good all year. They look good versus the Dolphins. That they just match up well versus us. I think the Cincinnati Bengals win this game. I don't think they win it easy, and it's not going to be a blowout, but I think they kind of have their way with Buffalo and Cincinnati. But this is a game where who knows? Josh Allen might show up.
Cincinnati's hot.
Cincinnati's hot. Buffalo's reeling. This is why it would be. Everyone would lean towards Cincinnati, and this is why probably Buffalo is going to come out and win because that's what they do.
Now, this time, well, not maybe this time, maybe a little bit farther into the season, but last year when they played in the regular season, obviously they had the game
and
canceled in the middle of it.
And this has playoff seedings implications as well.
Yeah, it does.
Let's be honest. Later on in the season, these two teams are going to be in it, and I don't know.
For me, when it comes down to it, who would I rather have as my quarterback? I'd rather have Joe Burrow. I would.
That's a tough question.
I think
I'd rather have Josh Allen, but I'd rather have the Bengals team.
Well, and
the Bengals coach.
If I had $1 million on the line and I needed somebody to score in 2 minutes, I'm taking Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow doesn't seem to get rattled. No, I'm saying this matchup.
Oh, these are two of the best quarterbacks in the league. So.
Okay, well, then I'm taking Mahomes. If he ain't getting it done, the refs are going to throw a flag, and they're going to get down the field.
Didn't happen last week. Anyways,
Jake, thank you for those comments, but I got Cincinnati.
I'm taking the Bengals.
Okay.
Who they? Or is that the Saints?
Who that?
And
then the Bengals are the other, like you said.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Cincinnati. I think Burrow and Chase go off in this game.
Yeah, they're great. I'm glad the Dolphins don't play them this year. Oh.
Monday Night Football, Chargers at Jets, baby.
This is another good game.
The Jets just fucking get it done every week.
Oh, my God. What's their record? What is their record?
Jake hates it. 4-3 without Aaron Rodgers. 4-3.
Well, I tell you what.
Hey, what are the Dolphins?
6-2.
Ooh, wow.
The Jets aren't winning this game. They will not keep up with the Chargers offense, and the Jets suck will lose. On Monday Night Football.
I should take the Jets just to fucking rally you up.
I'm taking the Chargers. Fuck the New York Jets.
I'm also taking the Chargers.
You
guys know how I feel about the Jets, but yeah, I agree. The Chargers, they got Eckler back, and they got a lot of weapons.
The thing with the Jets, right?
Chargers are going to get it done this week, and they're going to move to 4-4.
Their defense is going to keep them in it, right?
Zach Wilson's going to do not a whole lot, but they'll still be in the game.
Well, that's because their defense is good. So, I mean, the Jets can win this game. I mean, they're good enough to win this game. Their offense doesn't scare me as much as the Chargers, and if it's a shootout, they're screwed.
Let's be honest, though. If the Jets had Aaron Rodgers the entire year, they're probably sitting around
6-2.
Probably 6-2. But okay, well, they're 4-3 now, but they would look much better if they had Rodgers.
Well, sure, but I don't think. I mean, yeah,
I did not want Rodgers.
That's a whole different conversation.
I would have loved to watch Aaron Rodgers play. Even though he's not in a Packers uniform, you can't tell me it would have been very exciting to watch him play for the Jets.
No, I would have hated it.
Well, it's like I don't even like LeBron, but I don't want him to be injured all the time. So,
well,
I got the Chargers, though.
I got the Chargers.
Yeah.
And then teams on a bye, Denver, Detroit, San Francisco. San Francisco is in trouble, I think, as far as –
because they've lost 3
as far as like one seed and having to play through San Francisco, they're in trouble. Jacksonville, one of the hottest teams in the league.
They did Detroit, just acquire former number 2 overall pick Chase Young for a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
but
now
I
he's
still
be playing
think
with
they're
his
in
college
trouble.
teammate again, Nick Bosa. That's going to be a pretty disgusting edge. That's a fair point.
That's all I got.
That's all I got as well. I hope everybody enjoys the week of football, and we know we will. Even if it's tough, it's always fun to watch football. You got to appreciate it while it's here because it's not here very long.
No.
I think Illinois will probably start here pretty soon, so maybe we'll do a live during the basketball game.
Can't wait.
Jake was at the game against Kansas.
Illinois
I'm sure
won.
It was a great time. But we're looking forward to basketball season starting up. more so myself for college. I don't really care about the NBA anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be honest. I don't.
Well,
The
I
Bulls
watch
are
the
feeble.
Bulls.
They're feeble.
Well,
It's a poor product.
the Bulls are very average, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different story that I can
Yeah.
get into another day.
That's all we got for today. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave any comments or suggestions
And
in
we'll
the comment
see you
box
next
below.
week.
We'll see you guys.